Hello, welcome back. So this video, I'm actually going to do some console coverage. I'm not actually looking at one particular issue. Anyone who follows me on Twitter and also Facebook will know that I got the last issue I needed from the volume one of Sega Zone. So basically, that had eluded me for quite some time. Even though there had been one on eBay for about £17 by it now, I didn't want to do that. I was either waiting for fellow magazine nut Mark Jowett to have it in his collection for stuff to sell, or just wait and get lucky. Luckily, the waiting paid off, and it was basically added to my collection this week. Well, last week it was now, when I'm recording this. So it was this one, Chun-Li on the cover. And just realised I'm wearing my Ryu t-shirt as well. So there we go, there's the link. So this was Sega Zone issue 8, still done by Dennis Publishing. Now, I've said here, and I've said many times online, the Dennis magazines such as Zero, PC Zone, Game Zone, and a couple of others are so well written, and obviously we mentioned Neil Sinclair fairly recently. But there's something like, I don't know, it's the writing style. I know I was bang on about this, but the writing style especially with Zero, sort of drag me into buying these magazines quite regularly. Not every single issue was Zero. When I had my ST, I tended to buy probably like every other. But with Sega Zone, I used to get a few. Future Publishing eventually bought it from, I think, issue 10 or 11. And then it went to Maverick Magazines and it just really faded away. But anyway, these early issues, so I've said before, it came from Game Zone magazine, split into two, Nintendo Game Zone and Sega Zone. But anyway, I'm not going to go through all that now. So that's it basically. Those are your 12 issue run of the original designed Sega Zone, because when it went to Future, they did eventually give it a redesign from issue 13. So I wasn't too bothered about owning the 13 to 24, 23, 24. Mark Jowett would be able to correct me on that. But I've been picking these up really for the last few years. So it was one of those where I thought, right, well, I've completed Zero now. I'm going to try and complete the Game Zone magazines, which I did, 12 issue run. And then I thought, well, I'm going to try and complete the split, again, to have more of the Dennis magazines, which I did. So I'm not really going to go too in detail with this. I'm just going to show any couple of things. So issue 1 of Sega Zone there, with Sonic on the cover. Sonic 2, I should say. So this was November 1992. 195. I don't have the gift with this. Now, this is one of the things where people say, are you a proper magazine collector? And have you got a complete collection if you've not got the gifts? So, it's going to be very difficult. I mean, some of these gifts are lollipops, and this one came with a James Pond boomerang even. I don't know where they all are. Charity shop, landfill. If anyone has a James Pond boomerang, please shout and just show me. Just interested to see what it looks like. So yeah, that was like issue 1 there. I'll just actually have a quick look at the staff, just what they called the Cartridge family. A play on words from the Partridge Family. If you're up on that old band. So let's have a quick look if I can just find it. Yeah, here we go. Oh, actually, it's still called Joypad Jury on this. Sorry, Cartridge Family must be for Nintendo Game Zone then. So anyway, I apologise for getting that wrong. I need more magazine research, obviously. So, some of these came over from Zero. So Amaya Lopez, Martin Pond, Patrick McCarthy, Jane Goldman, Duncan MacDonald, David McCandless as well, which is still amazing that we've even had him in Pixel Addict. And then on issue 2, I think it seems a little bit thicker, but it's not. It's still 100 pages. This one we had Universal Soldier on the cover. Yeah, not a great game. It's basically just a reskinned Turrican on the Mega Drive. That came with a free tips book, and also inside, if I can just get to it, there we go. The creepy joint picture of Dominic Diamond and Violet Berlin as they're interviewed about their rival shows, views on gaming, everything like that. So I tagged Dominic in that, and yeah, well, quite a bit back when I actually got this issue. Oh my god. Sorry, I've just seen this. Home Alone on the Mega Drive, not a great game. 67% over gave that, which seems really, really high. And then, as we entered 1993, we had Streets of Rage 2. One of my all-time favourite games. Still play that now. And obviously we've been available on so many, emulation devices, the mini Mega Drive and things like that. Just looking at the window, it's actually chucking it down. What's that about? It was sunny, 2 minutes ago. Then what else? Chicane the Forever Man. So this is issue 4. Never really got into this game. I remember renting it out from Blockbuster / Ritz, or whichever it was at the time. But yeah, just never really gelled with it. It's one of those, I keep thinking like, should I play it again? Should I buy it? You can still pick it up fairly cheap, I think. Then we have got Bram Stoker's Dracula. Not meant to be a great game. This did come with stickers. Stickers aren't included on that one though. And then we've got Battletoads. So Battletoads is such a difficult game. I've only ever owned it, my own copy on the Game Boy, and I just remember absolutely losing my mind trying to play this on a Game Boy screen. I remember the first level, get through, bit of a score and beat 'em up. I think it was only the second level when you're on the bikes and you're trying to avoid all these rocks and stuff, and I was just like, oh my god, absolutely losing my mind. So this was April 1993. Battletoads there. It's totally fab. And then we have issue 7, X-Men. X-Men games were really, really good. Still worth playing today. And again, it was really, really popular at the time as well. I mean, X-Men's on Disney Plus, the X-Men 97 at the moment. So could be a good time to, return to X-Men. And then issue 8 was the one just mentioned with Street Fighter 2 Champion Edition on the cover there. Also covering Jungle Strike, Flashback, Splatterhouse 3, Cool Spot, Tiny Toon Adventures, and Android X Tennis, which I'm not bothered about. However, the other games, all really, really good. I just see what we actually gave Tiny Toons, because I absolutely love that game. The Buster's Hidden Treasure. 90% they've given that. Absolutely brilliant. It's really, really good. And the best thing is, it's still really cheap as well. The Konami platformers, absolutely fantastic back then. They gave Splatterhouse 3 61%, Flashback 94%, Cool Spot 90%. So I'm just looking through to see if I can find Street Fighter 2. Oh, it's just a bit of a preview, a 6-page preview though. So yeah, a lot in that issue. And again, that's summer 93. So next up, another great game. We have got Rocket Knight Adventures. This is issue 9. Rocket Knight Adventures, absolutely brilliant. Meet Konami's answer to Sonic. I don't know if there's an actual review in here. I'm just going to have a quick look. Just it might just be a preview. Oh, one thing I'm just going to point out. Actually, 2 things. So, these, if anyone remembers them, the cheetah joysticks, the character ones, Terminator 2 head, Bart Simpson, Batman. Well, at the Leeds video games market recently. Like one of my friends picked one up quite cheap. I'm sure he said it was only a fiver. If I'd have gone there, I'd have picked one up just for something, of the time, we'll say. And I put here for a load of very loud Sonic t-shirts. I have got a couple of Sonic t-shirts, but nothing that full on, really. Jungle Strike got 92%, by the way, in this issue, so obviously the last one must have been a preview. One of my favourite games, we have got Final Fight on the Mega CD, and it's my favourite arcade game. They gave it 80% on Mega CD. Now, anyone who remembers back then, that was the best version you could get of Final Fight, on the Mega CD, because obviously it was 2-player. The SNES version was only 1 player, and the computer versions, don't even get me started on those. They really, really were not great. I'll just see if there is anything else. No, it's just a preview for Rocket Knight. Now, I think it might be this one. No, this is your last Dennis one. So, issue 10, General Chaos. A game I've tried to play a few times, like a strategy game, but this has never gelled with me. And you can still get it quite cheap as well. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to waste any more time trying to get into General Chaos. There's a guide in here for Buster Bust Loose as well that I just mentioned before. Again, I'm just going to try and make this... okay, here we go. So, this is how I was really, really, really nerdy. So this is obviously still done by Dennis Publishing. As you can see down here, the little Dennis symbol. But inside, God, like, where is it now? God, lost it. Post-it notes, Paul. Post-it notes. An advert for Future Magazine, Edge. Sorry, I will pick that up in a minute. Future Magazine, Edge, advertising issue 1. So, obviously they've advertising a rival publisher's magazine here, or so you think. So, issue 10, not really a great issue. Must be a bit of a strange one as well, because obviously things are, changing behind the scenes. And then you have got issue 11, the first one by Future Publishing. Very, very slight tweaks, because it doesn't say Summer Game Zone anymore in the top corner. So, a very, very soft relaunch, really. September 93. It's gone. No, it's the same price, but now the contents pages have changed. Okay, I will try and wrap this up in a few minutes. I'm wary of the time, and not everyone's interested in the history of how a magazine design changed over the issues. If you are, you come to the right place. So the paper's changed as well. Again, it sounds a bit weird saying that, but I don't know what we actually paid for Sega Zone to Future. In fact, if I get a chance, if I can sort out an interview with someone who was working on the magazine and remembers that sort of handover, it could be quite interesting. I always like looking at special reserve adverts. So let's have a quick look. They've not really changed too much because they've still got Beyond the Wraps here with the cover game, James Pond 3, Operation Starfish, and they've even kept, I'll just try and get to it, a lot more of the Under Wraps as well, a lot more. They've still kept Joypad Jury, but I'm just going to show you some of the people in it. So, hang on, I might do that too fast. But now there's a few, for Dennis people, but now we're bringing in a few Future people as well, like Tim Norris, Tim Tucker as well, who's been on quite a few Future magazines. Duncan McDonald's still there, Amaya Lopez still there, Joshua Bilson, Stuart Campbell, he's come over. Jonathan Davis. So quite a few now from Future as well. It's like half and half, you know. And then we've got the last issue before the redesign. This has got a free gift. It's got stickers that my son keeps wanting to take off and put around the house, but like a sad oldish man, I'm stopping him. Anyway, asterisks on the cover. Again, so this was issue 12. Let's have a quick look just before we wrap this up. So again, Future branding everywhere, Future Entertainment Show, Future. Still roughly the same sort of writing, still roughly the same style, you know, with things like, you know, the little previews and news and stuff. We did keep a little bit of this from issue 13 onwards, but, you know, quite a few people did move on as well. They kept like a handful. I think Duncan MacDonald stayed around as well. But then again, I don't know why I'm that surprised, because when I was looking at Your Sinclair and when that went to Future, David Wilson was still working on Zero for Dennis and also Your Sinclair for Future, even though he did work on Your Sinclair under Dennis as well. God, I'm confusing myself. It's that sort of like, I get it, you know, I spoke to so many people that have worked on, say, Games Master and Amiga Power, but we've all been with the Future, you know, stable even of magazines, but never really two publishers. Big review here, 81% for Mortal Kombat. That was the best version of Mega Drive as well, the original Mortal Kombat. And then we've also got Jurassic Park. Just get towards the end. Oh, I'm going to show this because it's a review of Rocket Knight. Following on from a preview, I'm sure loads of you have played this. Rocket Knight Adventures, absolutely fantastic. Again, Konami knocking out of the park. What have we got? 92% there. So again, a good score. I think this might be about it. Here we go. So, we say it couldn't be done. More, better. It's on about the redesign. They've obviously looked at it and gone, well, look, you've had a year now of Sega Zone, you know, mostly in the Dennis style, but it needs a fresh look, which only lasted a few issues. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 6 issues, I think all they did. The last one had Ryan Giggs on the cover, and then it went to Maverick. So they only did 6 issues. And again, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, it didn't even last that long with the Nintendo Game Zone, because that also went over to Future. But Maverick didn't buy that one. It just basically got binned, which is a shame, really. You know, you'd still expect, you know, some readers, but then again, the SNES magazine market was absolutely huge. But yeah, that's it really. I will leave it there. Hang on, just see if there's this is another video I want to do at some point, looking back at some of the classified ads, you know, for sale, pen pals, things like that. But anyway, that's it from Sega Zone, and that's it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. Don't think it was too babbly, you know. So yeah, I think I do need to cover some Nintendo stuff soon though, because it's been absolutely ages. So might have to crack out the old Super Plays, you know, my favourite magazine of all time. Alright, anyway, speak to you soon. Bye bye.